morning, everyone. This is Ryan Eder with your Friday, September 14th morning market commentary. First off, Wolf, as always, we'll start in corn, and we could see a little bit of a profit-taking Friday. The December corn is down 15.5 cents for the week. Of course, we'll have to wait till 8:30 to see how much profit-taking we could find from sellers that have been active this week. We also need to mention that funds were very aggressive sellers on the report day Wednesday. We did see signs of moderate to also aggressive selling yesterday as well. That's how corn was able to move to new contract lows. So while we are looking for that Friday profit-taking bounce, we do need to keep a watch out for funds. If they are back here selling again after 8:30, that could limit any type of small Friday profit-taking we would normally see. The forecast going forward is pretty nice for the 1 to 5 day for the entire Midwest. Most areas remain dry to keep the harvest pace active for those who can go over the next 5 days. After that, the 6 to 10 day doesn't have exactly heavy rains, but it has large-scale coverage of light to moderate rains. So that should slow down harvest at some point next week. Over in the beans, we continue to hear that the headlines are flip-flopping, and that's what beans seem to be more focused on than anything else right now. We do hear some headlines coming out that suggest a deal or at least meeting with China will happen relatively soon, and then shortly after that we hear that maybe it'll be a bit delayed, and now last night again we hear yet another headline that maybe they'll be sooner rather than later again. In fact, what we heard last night was within 1 or 2 weeks. So we'll just have to keep a watch on those headlines, seeing as how they change just about every 6 to 8 hours. For the most part though, what we need to keep in mind is that beans are actually moving sideways. We may tend to think that with corn making new contract lows that beans are as well, but that isn't the case. Actually, beans right now are priced the same level they were at back on August 28th. So that's a sign of just how sideways that market is. So instead of having an opinion that they're just grinding lower and following corn, it's actually more accurate to call the beans choppy here over the last 3-4 weeks. Over in wheat, in that market, we're also seeing a little bit of light fund selling. There was light fund selling on report day and yesterday. Nothing is as extreme as the corn, but there's certainly, we're seeing signs there of wheat selling. So we'll want to check the Friday Commitment to Traders report this afternoon to see if any of it shows up there. But again, remember now, for all the grains, any fund selling that occurred on Wednesday, report day, or yesterday will not show up until next Friday's Commitment to Traders report. So we're going to have to be very patient waiting to see just how much was sold this week. The December Chicago wheat is approaching 490, which is an important level. That's the lowest level we hit during the summer before any of the overseas dryness came up. And we're approaching that pretty soon. So while it's not contract lows, we may see wheat find much larger support if we fall to that 490 level as if it was contract lows like we've been seeing in corn. Over in cattle, we're still seeing 107 bids, occasionally 108s. That flip-flops back and forth, so you're watching the futures go up or down 50 cents with each update we get there. Right now, with December in the mid-115s, futures seem prepared to hear a 109 trade, which is what you would assume after hearing a 108 bid. So we'll see what we get for a cash trade if one occurs during the futures trade today. If a above 109 trade is seen after the futures close, of course, we would wait to see a reaction to that in the futures market on Monday morning. So that's what we're looking at there for Friday, September 14th. If you have any questions, give us a call, 800-551-4626, or visit us on the web at allendale-inc.com.